Hello, it is 9:12. We appreciate you watching this morning. A Minnesota native played a key role in developing a Marvel TV show.
That TV show is Echo. It is the first to feature an Indigenous hero, and it came out in January on Disney+. Now, we tell you this because our next guest worked on the show Echo well before it even started shooting.
Illustrator and concept artist Winona Nelson joins us now via Zoom to talk about her art. Winona, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
We were getting to visit with you a little bit during the commercial break before we came on here on TV, and you were talking about growing up in the Duluth area and Lake Superior, and that there's really nothing like it. So tell us about that.
Yeah, well, of course, I have a deep connection with the natural area and with Lake Superior in particular. But I've gotten to incorporate some of my background into my artwork. The image that's showing right there is of the Ojibwe legendary figure Nana Buju. And I am a member of the Leech Lake Band of the Minnesota Chippewa. So that is my background incorporated into some of my personal artwork.
Beautiful. How did you get started in artwork like this? I mean, did you start drawing as a kid, or when did you find kind of that this was your passion, this was your love?
I did start drawing when I was really little. Both of my parents are artists as well, and my father painted wildlife art in acrylics, and my mother did a lot of abstract art and collage, and both of them encouraged my interest in art and never discouraged me from chasing it as a life occupation. I went to school in San Francisco for 1 year at a really specialized school called an atelier, where you study like the European tradition of realism and making things look really realistic. And I developed my portfolio to work in the games industry while I was at that school.
So we had mentioned that you were involved in the development of Marvel's Echo and sort of the look and the concept. Tell us a little bit about that. How's that work?
So in the field of concept art, the artist's job is to show what things will look like before those shots are made by the visual effects team. Somebody has to give the director and the creative team options for what things will look like before they invest all the time and resources to build those things, like the costumes, the sets, the special effects shots. So that's what that job is.
So you're conceptualizing it, like it's in your brain, you're reading the words, you're kind of putting this all together in a vision that you're then selling to like the studio.
It's usually involves a lot of research, and particularly in Echo it did, because some of the shots that I did were based on the ancient native city of Cahokia. So I was looking up maps of the ancient mound city and trying to make sort of a fantastical version of it, the Marvel Universe's version of it. So that's the vibrant reimagining of a thriving city of Cahokia.
And so then when it goes from your concept to actually what's on the screen, how is that for you? Because I imagine that's a little challenging, because you sort of saw it one way and envisioned it one way, and maybe it may not end up that way in the final product.
Well, actually, the two shots that you've been showing on the screen, they reproduced them pretty accurately. So especially the overhead shot of the city, there's one shot in, I think it's in episode 2, that shows a wide view of the city, and it looks really, really a lot like my concept art. So I was thrilled with how close to my concept art that was. I was actually screaming.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, did you ever think growing up in northern Minnesota and in Superior, Wisconsin, that you would end up being able to look at a Marvel series and say, that is my vision, that is my art?
I did not dream particularly of Marvel doing that, because when I was a kid, they didn't have TV shows and movies all that much yet. I think the first X-Men movie came out when I was a year before I graduated high school. So that developed alongside while I was developing my career. So my childhood dream was to do magic cards, which is one of them is showing on the screen right now, and to do character design for video games like Last of Us 2 is the one that we've been showing some concepts from. So I did grow up really with nerdy interests and hoping and dreaming to be able to participate in some of these kinds of pop culture phenomenons like that.
How long does it take you to create one of those works like the one we just saw a moment ago?
It's about 20 or 30 hours usually.
Wow.
So.
Okay. Tell us about Magic the Gathering, because you've worked on some really cool projects. You kind of mentioned The Last of Us 2. Another one, though, is Magic the Gathering. Tell us about that.
Magic the Gathering is a collectible card game that I think people kind of describe it as being like partway poker and partway chess. And the way that people identify what each of the cards do is by the artwork printed on the cards, so that they don't have to read all of the rules every time. So the artwork is very critical in the game for helping the players identify what their opponent has just played so that they can formulate their strategy for countering that move. So they commission thousands of paintings every year. It's a really big source of work and income for working illustrators like myself.
And you've also done some children's books. Tell us about that.
Yes, I've finished recently a children's book for Simon & Schuster, in which I got to incorporate some traditional Ojibwe beadwork into the paper. I was sewing through watercolor paper with fabric on the back. And that one I'm very excited about. I think it's going to be announced for pre-order in January. I also have done 2 children's books with Scholastic. One is called If You Sailed on the Titanic, and the other one is called If You Lived During the Plymouth Thanksgiving.
Not to mention that you're teaching people a little bit of your skill, how to become professional illustrators. Tell us about that.
Yes, I teach online through Smart School. The website is smarterartschool.com, and I teach basically very much based on what the goals of each student are. And most of my students come to this class wanting to do magic cards or work in video games. Sometimes it's students who are working on graphic novels, which is something else that I do.
And you're also working on a comic, it sounds like. You're very busy.
You're very busy.
Yes. Yeah, the comic is my own project. I wrote it and drew it, and every step of the process is mine. So this is my passion project and my baby. It's a rock and roll ghost story about a teenage ghost who starts haunting her rock and roll idol instead of dealing with her own unfinished business.
Well, Winona, this has been a great conversation. Good to get to know a little bit about you and see just some of the work that you're doing. Absolutely beautiful. So we'll check in again in a couple months and we'll find out what you have going on, because I'm guessing you'll have created 9,000 other things between now and then.
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
And if you folks at home are interested in taking her class or reading her comic, head to minnesotalive.com and we'll post a link for you right there.